This is Colin Dijs from Dijs, and in this video we will continue with how to test affiliate marketing campaigns using Facebook ads. This is part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, which I uploaded yesterday, I recommend you to have a look at that first. Because we will be continuing our journey through the testing phase, and I will also answer some questions that came in. So let me just clean up this sheet a little bit. And remove. So the status we're currently at is that we have found 2 profitable ad sets, 1 or 2 lesser profitable, and 1 which we have to turn around, right? What are the next steps that we need to focus on? So I'm going to remove the age groups and I'll remove this. All right, so one question which was asked a couple of times, which is a good question, is why split up the geos? And the reason for this is that different geos have different, what we call behavior patterns, right? So the behavior patterns are very important because what we say as advertisers, and I think everybody except the people from the United States can agree on, the United States people are very gullible in terms of marketing. Let's take, for example, the European Union or Australia. There are a lot of government agencies who regulate the market, things you can say and things which you cannot say. You cannot make crazy claims which are not true. They protect the market very well because they know people are gullible, and therefore systematic approach that has been trained, that these people understand through government commercials that if somebody tells you can lose 30 pounds overnight, a call center agent, for example, you should not believe them. And if you look at the average ClickBank offer for the United States market, they convert like crazy because people believe that can actually happen. So that's the reason why we generally not stack interest. People from Germany behave very different than people from Australia. Although it's all what we call tier 1 countries, they have a lot of similarities, but I would prefer to split them up for that reason. In addition, part 2 would be, I would only stack geos if you do not have enough reach, which is probably the primary mover 99% of the time to stack geos, to take that one part of non-similar behavior patterns and just go with it anyway to increase the reach, because if you don't have reach, you cannot run your campaign properly. That's basically it, right? So the main focus would be on flipping this through testing, right? You move other variables. To increase reach, because as soon as you optimize more, you might want to say, okay, I'll bring this from 55 to 65 plus, creating a reach of 200K, right? And which makes this whole ad set disappear because now we have combined them. These and this one has a gap, so we cannot stack these, but for the estimate's sake, I'll just remove these and just go with 1 because you guys obviously want to see the next step. So let's say we have 1 or more profitable ad sets, but I'm just taking 1 right now for the example. So the reach is 200K, which is already on the low end. However, we do want to see if there are opportunities with an audience similar to this. So far we have tested the interest and we have tested the age group. One easy step to create more reach is either now go for the placement or go for the device, right? So for the device is quite simple. We have options of going with tablet or desktop, right? So what we know is that the desktop CPM is high. However, this is already converting. So what we'll do is we'll take this ad set and we will make a new ad set, which we call ad set 6. And we will switch it to, let's say, desktop. Yes. The reach is less, but it's more than stacked together, right? So usually the profitability, this was 50% as well, will probably be higher. So the CPM is also higher. So the cost, the ROI, it has to be beneficial. But now it basically you go from 200K to 100K, right? So now you have desktop and mobile. The next step, I would say, makes a lot of sense. I generally would not adjust the initial ad set. You can if you want to, but I think if it makes money, just let it be. Create a new one, and then the next step, so this one would be mobile again, and this would be, let's say, ad set 7, or you can call it ad set 1, because basically the other ones are gone. And we could say, because I'm looking for reach, right? So now I do all Facebook placements. So obviously the reach goes up a little bit because it adds audience network, which might sometimes be a good thing, but most of the times not. But now the reach shoots up, not that much, by 300K, right? So we have overlap here. So let's say we gain 200K plus the initial 300K, now we're at 500K reach, right? 500K for an audience that makes consistent profit at this kind of ROI is pretty interesting, right? So the steps we did so far, I will list them down here, was device, stack H, and we did the placement. Right, so with the placements, you have more options to test. You can do the Instagram thing, you can cut up the Facebook ones, you can cut up the Instagram ones, and all the other options that are available, which give you a total of perhaps 12 ad sets additionally, across 3 device types, 36 new ad sets. You can imagine with the ad sets we done previously, now we're already at 50 plus ad sets in terms of the test. At a $20 CPA, you're now at $1,000 running your initial test. Yes, you're making good money, but there is a lot of work, yes, for the ad set test. Okay, one thing we haven't tested at all, which I will clean up the sheet for. So the reach doesn't matter anymore. This one was just an example. Move this to here. I will make it all white again. You guys know it's the profitability. Okay. So we have done H. Yes. We have done placement, device, interest. We have reasoning to do the geo and then the gender. Right. So the next thing I would do would be gender and thereafter scale the geo. Testing wise. Yes, testing wise. If an offer is available in additional country, I would only pursue that once the campaign has been properly tested, you know what's working, you have made additional optimization on the testing phase already, and you have sufficient cash flow. Doing multiple geos at the same time is accumulating multiple variables. And now I will explain what that means, because it sounds difficult, and it is difficult. So basically, what I just explained to you with over 50 ad sets, you could also do in one try. The reason why we're not doing it in one try, because you will accumulate a crazy amount of variables, right? So we'll say variables, which is device, age, all these things, right? So if you would do, let's say, the age split, which is 6 variables, then we do the placement split, which is perhaps like 12 variables. The device is 3 variables. The interest, I think we did 6 interests. And then the female, male, female. Okay, that's cool. And then 1 country, yeah, so times 1. So it's this times, wait, do I need to do the brackets? Yeah, okay, wait, let me do it like this. This times this. I don't think that's correct. This times this. Whoa. This one times this one. Okay, so now I can drag it. Okay, so basically we are working with 2,592 variables, right? Potentially different outcomes in terms of how many things you could potentially test, and this is like mathematic kind of shit. However, what would happen if we would not take things step by step, right? It would be fucking messy as fuck, because you would have so many potential different outcomes. Now we do it step by step, and we do it basically in a different way. So basically what we say in terms of the variables, it's not a connected test, right? The connected test is as soon as you take the next step in your approach. So we test 6 variables, right? Which were the interest, right? That's what we started with. Then we cut up the age groups, 6 ad sets. So this is like $20, $20. And then the placements, we basically did a newsfeed and then we changed. So all I'm saying is, when you look at the variables, there are so many things you could test, right? For this campaign alone, based on the settings we've used, over 2,500 different ad sets could be drafted. Is it required? No. Do you have to do that? No. Why would you be able to do that? If everything is profitable that you make on your campaign, obviously you want to squeeze the audience. And then you come through the dilemma of where does testing go too far and do you have diminishing returns? I would therefore follow just this step, right? Just go with the main variable and then follow the choices. So device, 3 choices. Stack age groups, 5 choices, or 6. Placements, you have 12 total options, but if you divide the main categories, you have 4 options. Gender, only 2 genders, and geo, 1 option, right? So the options here are so little that even with, we would say, when we said 30 plus, right? In that scenario, we would probably do 30 to 45, 45 to 65, 65 plus. So you would only have 3 age groups. The placement, we would run Facebook only. If you scale to Instagram and the audience network, you already have a big campaign, right? And the device, to be fair, I would skip tablet and I would either focus on mobile until it's extremely profitable or like properly profitable, at least above 30%, and then I would move to desktop. So in this scenario, we would get 12 different ad sets for a complete test. And on part 1, somebody commented like, this is going to cost a lot of money. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. This complete test will cost you $240. And you have done a great test, a great potency test. However, this is theory, right? You need to keep in mind other variables, which are fucked up copy, fucked up images, fucked up flow, basically all the other things. Right now, we're just talking about interest ad set level Facebook ads testing, right? There's so many more different variables involved inside the whole process. One of my favorite things to talk about is called a coherent flow. It has nothing to do with affiliate campaigns. It is something that on a marketing perspective level is required for all your advertising, right? The ad needs to flow into the lender, which needs to flow into the offer. If the story is coherent, the user will flow through and more of them will convert. That's how it goes. The more clickbait you get, the lower conversion rate, the higher CTR, and the other way around as well. So this is basically how an aggressive test would go on the ad set level, right? Now, obviously, I will prepare my favorite aggressive testing, and that is basically what this series was supposed to be about, which is the ad level, the creative testing, which is one difficult thing with the Facebook ads because it gets automatically optimized. However, you can still influence it quite a bit. I think I don't want to make it more complicated for everybody. I think we will leave it at this. I think it's a tremendous amount of value already. If you like the content, please give this video a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If there's something I missed potentially, or you're confused because I discussed many different things in this video, let me know and I will write an answer for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.